Wait for it. So we may now, in fact, be live, but there's so much to talk about after the intro.
Welcome to the Geek Battle Zone. We discuss comics and puny minds are blown. We debate Marvel versus DC, Skeletor, X-Men, and Ron Weasley. Judge David slams down the gavel and Cap dreams of Henry Cavill. It's a Geek Battle stream, nerd rage as we assemble our Geek Avengers team. Welcome to the Geek Battle party. We are the Justice League and our Batman is Marty. Say hello to Tim as movies are greenlit. Every new movie, Dev's already seen it. Xbox, Star Wars, and Star Riders. He-Man, Star Trek, and David loves spiders. We battle as Morrow and Disney loves Wink, and we try to crown the Geek of the Week. It's the Geek Battle Show. Welcome to the Geek Battleground, where we use the Force and the One Ring is found. Cap is wrong about Resident Evil 6. Everyone watch out, some shit is thick. Gerald and Tim and Diz will try to win at the Geek Battle Quiz. David and Dave will confuse their crew as they dive in the TARDIS of Doctor Who. Watch out now, we're full of hot takes. Doc Courtney is garbage, but Red Dwarf is great. You love Sega, I love Nintendo, but in the Geek Battle, we are all friendos. Oh, it's a Geek Battle show. Oh, the Geek Battle show. It's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Geek Battle show.
Hello and welcome to Geek Battle here on the Extreme Improv, Extreme Geek Battle and Geek Battle Gaming YouTube channels, as well as a bunch of other platforms. To be honest, I've kind of lost track of which ones it's on. But on the show tonight, there's a bunch of things to talk about, new trailers, things that we may have seen, certainly a couple of things that I have seen. But let's say hello to the people. Cap, say hello to the people.
Hail from the land of 40k Witchers and Halo. Guess I played that too now. Fully finished it. So, okay, my geek fact for the day is so in the Warhammer 40k universe, of course, because I didn't prepare one, so it's of course going to be a Warhammer fact. So we know that Space Marines are tough. Space Marines are a match for any army. Space Marine can kill 100 human soldiers, which are also part of the Imperium. They are known as the Imperial Guard. But here's the thing. The Imperial Guard are the most expendable thing in the Warhammer universe. So technically, a Space Marine can kill 100 human soldiers, but one Space Marine will be outnumbered by 1,000,000 human soldiers, because that's how much numbers that the Imperium has in just humans. So if the Space Marines disappear in the 40k universe, humans will have a hard time, but they will survive. But if the Imperial Guard disappears, there will be no Imperium.
Tim has questions.
I have to disagree because I think like the Imperial Guard is considered by at least the Australian Major Kill to be the like special forces of regular humans. They're not Space Marines, but like they're the top of the regular human military.
But they are basically tank treads when it compared to anything that they face. They are literally armed with pea shooters. There are worse troops in the Imperium, but the Guard is basically tank treads. Okay, they're in the trenches. They're basically so if there's another tank coming in, it won't be like, hit that tank with a bazooka. No, throw 100 men at it so the tank will get stuck in them by their bodies. That's how the Imperium works when it comes to the Guard.
You know, like the thing I find most interesting about this is that as confused as I am whenever you guys speak about 40k, I'm like, this must be how other people react when I say about Doctor Who.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
that's 100%.
Yeah. Tim, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. Hi, and I've been reading the Three Body Problem books. I'm going to watch the TV show after, but I just want you to look up the Fermi Paradox. Fermi Paradox is this scientific debate on why there's no other intelligent life out in the universe. One of them is called the Dark Forest, which is in a universe that has a limited number of resources, but such as worlds, and these civilizations keep cropping up. There's going to be competition for those resources. So the more advanced civilizations that are out there right now are eliminating any other upcoming civilizations just to reduce the idea of competition. And they use a low resource attack to prevent the growth of that competitor. So look up the Fermi Paradox, Fermi, and that's a pretty cool real science this debate that we're having right now as we search for life in our brains and the universe.
Yeah, I could absolutely get into all of that. Perhaps that's something we could do or not. Hang on, Cap. Hang on. I snatched the conch. This is right. So like I just feel like if you go to places on this earth, if you go to like Antarctica or the top of Mount Everest, you're not going to see people for miles and stuff, right? I can be across the park where I live and not see people for miles. So I think it's pretty explainable that with like our little telescopes and things that we can't see evidence of other things out there. And even then they say that there are a few unexplainable things that we have seen within our local vicinity. There's theories about that there could be life.
Atlas
Sorry?
point something. Atlas point something. The recent meteorite we also kind of thought was probably an alien ship.
Oh, I forget what it was called. That thing that I think it's now left our solar system. That interstellar object. The third interstellar object that we've ever spotted. It was like it's not A1 QI Atlas or something like this, isn't it?
It was something like that. It was.
Yeah,
I know it was Atlas, but I forgot the numbers.
The thing I always find interesting is they say that nothing can move faster than the speed of light, but that space itself is expanding faster than the speed of light. So that gives me a theory in the same sense that, if my top speed is say, 40 miles an hour, probably more like 15, but say it's like 40 miles an hour. But if I'm on a train that's traveling 80 miles an hour and then I'm running on that train, technically I am moving faster than the train, right? Because I'm getting further along on the train. So I think if we can find out, like harnessing the waves of the ocean, how to harness the expansion of space, we could go faster than the speed of light and explore these places. So there you go. Cap, you wanted to say, and then Dev, we will come to you. We have not missed that you are here.
Okay, I'm there's a lot of things I could say. I'm just going to focus on the Fermi Paradox. We can also take Warhammer as an example, where there is an advanced species called the Eldar, who became before us, and they don't want to do nothing with humans because they are too pompous and think we are nothing more than babbling baboons. As
so the Time Lords,
the teacher.
Time Lords.
Yeah.
Vulcans only just gave us a chance, to be fair. So
the Eldar also lost their infrastructure and their imperial base because of the Slanesh
because
incident.
Because they partied so hard, they literally created the god of debauchery. That is
so did the Romans. He's got backers.
Well, anyway, Dev, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. And I have a theory on this whole life outside of Earth thing. It's like every 50 years, they send a scout to Earth and decide if Earth is intelligent enough to contact them. Until then, they have a force field or something around our solar system that limits communication or visibility of other planets.
But that would suggest that they don't have values like us, because we see any animal, we're like, is it intelligent? If it is, we'd kill it. If it isn't, we'll eat it. And that's kind of like our logic and way of handling things. I don't imagine.
Wait, we don't necessarily kill intelligent things.
Have you ever had tuna?
No.
Well, it's pure dolphin, I'm telling you. Right. Okay. Tim.
Why are no Neanderthals alive?
We
outcompeted them for resources.
Yeah.
So as a subspecies, I imagine that our subspecies is the most aggressive, has the most warlike tendencies, mixed with intelligence. Maybe there's a reason there's dwarves and elves and all those things, but they were in our previous history with different subspecies of humans.
Do you know, just to very quickly go on that, something I found quite sad is that there is a sequel to Lord of the Rings that J.R. Tolkien started writing, and it's called something like The New Shadow or something. And in the published by Tolkien's son Christopher Tolkien, there's the Unfinished Tales, and it has the few chapters and notes and things that was going to be this story. And from the appendices and everything at the end of Lord of the Rings, it was like this led into the Age of Men. And so basically one of the reasons why he abandoned writing this book is well, he's already established that it's just men, and it's about Aragorn's son or grandson, and it's well, there's now no elves, there's no hobbits, there's no fun creatures in it anymore, and he kind of abandoned it because he'd written himself into something of a corner of just saying, well, there's just the men left, and the human race was just a bit boring. So yeah, Dev. Anyway,
yeah.
Regarding the whole Neanderthals, why they went extinct and stuff, it's literally what I call the prequel to Idiocracy, where basically the others procreated and Neanderthals did not. So eventually,
I think we procreated with them. We blended.
Yeah.
There are traces of Neanderthal DNA.
Yeah, there's also the theory of we've actually outslept them, so to say.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Including them in our ranks as well.
So yeah, I think look at look at the dark side of some of human history over the last 1,000 years and stuff like this, right? Probably the human race were more intelligent. Probably they were more powerful. They probably killed the males, took the females, bred with them. And if you look at ginger people are literally slowly dying out because it's less dominant as a hair color compared to brown or blonde. And eventually blonde, everyone will just have dark hair and stuff like this. So I'm just saying that the Neanderthal aspect it's probably locked away somewhere, why occasionally people get born with 3 or 4 nipples.
I also like to think that there's
Go on, Tim.
I also like to think that our diversity was impacted by a major ice age, I think 50 to 100,000 years ago, and that there's only something like 1,000 to 10,000 humans survived that. So all of the current humans that are born right now are descendants of those people that survived and were left over from that.
Okay, I'll come to you guys in a second. I just want to add on to that because here's a cool fact for you if I may have even said this before. The breed of dog, the King Charles Cavalier Spaniel, which King Charles had, and it was the famous royal dog in England. All but about 6 of them were wiped out in World War II. And so now every single dog of that breed is a descendant inbred of those 6 animals.
Just like the royal family.
Just like the royal family,
Alabama.
exactly. But so here's the sad side of it, because my family, almost every dog that my family has had throughout my entire life has been a King Charles Cavalier. In terms of temperament, they are the softest, friendliest dog imaginable. Some people may say this other one, but it will always be in the conversation. But that is also because they're seen as quite docile and silly. But the sad thing is, one of those dogs that they were all bred from had a heart defect, and some of my family dogs, we lost them because it is in almost all of them because of the breeding over the years. Almost all of them have that fault. So yeah, I believe like Ice Age or whatever, maybe they all died out. Who knows? Dev, Cap, I forget who we were coming to next. Cap, you've got your hand up.
Okay, so we do have very big diversity when it comes to humans in terms of like they were not just Neanderthals, they were like other hominids from like all different parts of the world. Like even like if you look at like separate continents, they all have like different sort of like early humanid connections to it. And even if you look at like if you compare like the genetics with like Europeans and compared to the Australian Aboriginals, the Australian Aboriginals are a much more older DNA. They are one of the most oldest humanoid DNAs that we have. They're still Homo sapiens. We're very similar to them, but they are still structurally in many ways are more of an older humans than the modern ones. Yeah.
Who?
The Australian Aboriginals.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I just did a search, by the way. The climate event, the Ice Age, was about 950,000 years ago. So it's closer to 1 million. Not 100,000.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry to go back.
No, go for it, Dev.
So going back to gingers, so between my friends, I'm known as the guy who like ginger girls, right? And they keep sending me that article saying, Dev, take your place and repopulate the ginger population, become Genghis Khan.
Right, hang on. You do know that you're not ginger, right?
No, but I like ginger, so
No, I know, but you're the wrong person to repopulate the gingers. Your genes it'll dominate them.
You probably have the dominant alleles.
Yeah.
It's a 50-50.
So no,
it's a 50-50.
No, we need like Weasleys to like get together. Right. Now, coming on to
even Hollywood started eliminating them.
Maybe, who knows? Right. So anyway, guys, apparently now I just seen this headline a couple of minutes ago. Christina Hodson. I don't know who that name is, but apparently they wrote the Flash movie is officially writing the DCU Batman Brave and the Bold. Now, I think exactly. A lot of reaction has been like that, but I'm one of the few people that likes the Flash movie. So I don't think that bodes well, I'm not going to lie. But who knows? I did enjoy Flash more than what it was popular to slam it when it came out.
Did you watch the show?
Wait, the show? You saying that they wrote... Oh, I thought they meant they wrote the Flash movie.
No, they wrote the movie, but did you watch the show? Because
the Flash.
If you watched the show, yeah.
No, I couldn't stand it.
If you did, you wouldn't like the movie.
Oh, okay. Well, no. Well, I didn't like the show of it. I thought it was. It seemed like it wanted to be Smallville, but was a bit too much Saved by the Bell, and that wasn't the tone I was looking for in a superhero show.
The weird thing is, they are all offshoots of Smallville in different ways.
Well, like none of them technically were, but they basically are spiritual successors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they all
did
just
a crossover episode with Smallville, right?
Yeah. When they did the Crisis one, they brought back every universe they could. It's interesting in the Flash as well, which obviously had multiverse stuff. Christian Bale has just been like, "Keep me out of it, guys," and it was the right choice.
Yeah.
Christian Bale said like he would only like even think about returning to like Batman if it's like Christopher Nolan's involved. Otherwise, like he doesn't really see any point in returning to playing a superhero. At least Batman.
Well,
He'll be okay with Gore the God Butcher.
But you know what? But like, I think he's making the right choice because Michael Keaton did come back, obviously, and then Tim Burton was really not happy with what they did with his Batman in the Flash. So yeah.
But that was the only good part of them.
What
that was one of the
Burton done recently?
No, I do agree. Like that was why I enjoyed it. I was like, oh wow, Batman's back. Like the actual Batman is back.
I liked his character and how they introduced it.
No, go on, Tim.
Go ahead, Tim.
Oh, I like what they did with his character and how they introduced it, but parts of the Flash movie were a little discombobulated.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it wasn't high art. In fact, hang on one second. Where is it? Where is it? Is this an overlay? Right. We just have to appreciate the CGI. Like if you look on the screen, so Cap's face is hidden by the famously bad mustache Henry Cavill. But then above Cap, to the right of the screen, is the Flash CGI Henry Cavill, which is infinitely worse. Infinitely worse.
Yeah.
So, gosh knows what they were thinking. But yeah, Dev, tell us things.
I'm just annoyed, like, that they had a chance of paying off the Crisis cameo in the Flash movie with Grant Gustin showing up.
Yeah.
But they never did it. They never did it. Go
ahead.
If they were gonna have two Flashes, you could have easily had Grant Gustin as the second one.
Yeah, or they could have just had him. Like I've said my pitch for this like a dozen times on the show now. They should have had all their CGI monsters turn up. They should have had Michael Keaton's Batman there. They should have had Nicolas Cage actually dressed as Superman being there. And they should have had the TV Flash come in as well and being part of this little ensemble. And then the last person to fly in should have been Christopher Reeve Superman. Just have him say like the one line of like, you know, truth, justice, and the American way or whatever. Yeah. And then they should have flown into battle and they should have just done cool stuff of this team up. Instead, they just showed that there are spheres with different universes in. And it was like what was the point? Look, Cap's just gone into his universe. He's in his sphere.
Yeah, a little bubble.
What is the point of showing like, oh, here's Adam West's Batman if he's not actually there to interact with anyone?
Yeah, like, and there's a perfect place to put Christopher Reeve's Batman as well. The Kingdom Come one. The Kingdom Come one with the slightly white hair. Like in Crisis, they did it really well. The Kingdom Come Superman was the Brandon Routh one.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they could have had him.
I love that he also has another character in that show, and basically they just looked at each other. Wow, we're really both really good looking.
It's interesting. Just like one of the other headlines here, I'm on like the X account for discussing film because they usually cover stuff. Let me just bring it onto the screen quickly, as long as it's nothing dodgy, because you can never quite trust X. But it says YouTube says they are actively looking to reduce the spread of AI slop on the platform. Right?
No, they're not.
No, well, probably they're not. But it's going to be interesting to see what the future is of AI or CGI recreations of famous actors or stuff like this, because I think most of it has had a negative backlash. Like, when have they done a CGI? Or not necessarily AI, I guess, but I guess they use AI as part of creating it. When have they done like a CGI recreation of someone where people have been like, that's amazing, thank God they did that? Because I can only think of two examples, and they were the first two. And that was when oh my God, what's The Crow? Because obviously the actor got killed, and they did a few CGI things with body doubles just to put his face onto so they could finish the film. And then in Gladiator, when God, I forget every actor's name suddenly today. When what's his face died? Who was it that died in Gladiator?
It was
Oliver Reed. Oliver Reed died.
Yeah.
So Oliver Reed died. He hadn't quite finished, and they were like, "We have finished his role using computers." And it's that they repurposed footage from various places, and they like CGI'd him into the new scene. Not CGI, but just like cut him out and put him into the new scene, and a couple of bits like that. And for those reasons, they were able to finish off performances. And I guess another one like that was with Paul Walker on the Fast and the Furious movie. But for the most part, when they did it with Princess Leia on that movie, and she was still Carrie Fisher was still alive when they were making it, they'd CGI'd her as young Princess Leia, but she died I think the same month it came out or something. And then they said for the next one, they weren't going to CGI her, and then they kind of did some repurposing. But after that, when they've put like CGI Superman, Batman, when they did Peter Cushing, lots of people look at these things and say like, oh, this is awful. Like Peter Cushing in Star Wars Rogue One, I think his family have since come out and sued about it because Disney got the permission from his agent, which obviously is a major conflict of interest, and it shouldn't have been that he had the power to put that into place, if I'm remembering it correctly. But I think a lot of this stuff is going to have a huge backlash, and it's going to take years before they find a way where it's accepted to do. But go on, Dev.
I have 3 good uses of AI and like replace people.
Yeah, go on.
Like personally, I enjoyed because the Tupac concert, the Tupac concert they did, this hologram one, that was really like good for like innovation and stuff.
Yeah.
The CGI face, like another one they did was Val Kilmer.
Yeah, but he was on board with that because he was it was only his voice that was AI.
Yeah.
So that I 100% agree, but he couldn't speak because of like his poor health. So they used so he literally had to lip sync himself basically by they'd got his voice and either he lip synced to it or they added it afterwards. But how could someone say, oh, they shouldn't do that when it's like he wanted them to or he agreed for them to do that? Yeah. And what was the third one then?
The third one was called because I forgot what it was now, but I have a really like famously bad example.
Go on.
X-Men 3.
Well, the de-aging.
Yeah, de-aging.
Yeah. Oh my god, like okay, so all the digital de-aging, I've never seen one that I really think works. When you watch some Marvel films and they've got like Michael Douglas looking younger and his face is just kind of like as he turns, it's just like it looks like it's sliding up following after him. Or even if you watch like the last 2 or 3 Resident Evil movies with Mila Jovovich. Now that series started in about 2002 and it probably went to about 2016, 17, 18 or something like this. And by the end, her face was just glowing. I was like, well, they're doing what they can to make it look like she hasn't aged because she's meant to be like a clone of a clone of a clone and stuff like this. But the technology wasn't there yet. And it was just like, it looks like she's about to regenerate in Doctor Who, that there was just some weird haze just to smooth everything. So I don't know. I don't think they've quite cracked it still, to be honest. Go on, Dev.
I just remembered what the third one was.
Oh, go on.
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Explain it a bit more because I thought they just used other actors.
They had to CGI their face, like parts of him, like changing into the other actors.
Okay, but you know what? Again, like Heath Ledger died whilst and the weird thing about that, if I remember correctly, is that they'd filmed all of his interior scenes, but none of the exterior scenes. So when he jumps through a portal, every single time that he jumps through a portal into some new place, he hadn't filmed that stuff. But all of the stuff in the Imaginarium they had filmed. And because of the nature of that story, they actually said, we could just have him turn into other people. And then it was who was it? It was Colin Farrell, Johnny Depp and Jude Law finished the role for him, and they were like friends sort of thing.
Yeah.
Again, that feels like it was done for the right reasons.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like those are the 3 reasons.
Yeah, I agree.
Were good uses of like AI and stuff.
Yeah, but like the Flash is probably an example of the worst of it because Henry Cavill, I think, did film stuff for that movie. But they had clearly had a massive falling out with Henry Cavill. So then they cut him out of it because they weren't bringing him back and then just had one sequence of him that was CG. They had Nicolas Cage, who they had on set. They filmed him and then turned him into CGI against his knowledge anyway so that they could...
I'm now picturing, like, what did he do? Because, like, Nicolas Cage has this weird indentation of, like, actually doing something weird with his roles more than it
Yeah.
intended.
What?
So
So
I'm
you
guessing
think?
like
Okay, go on.
so that's exactly what I think, David. Is that they're like, okay, now you're Superman, you're fighting a spider, and he probably did something super mega weird, and they were like, let's CGI it. It was too weird for the Flash movie.
Okay, hang on. Right. So, I've seen at least read the clip. I may have seen it as well of Nicolas Cage talking about this, and he said that he was there on set and he filmed a scene, and what he was told is that he was looking at the destruction of his world, and that is what happens because each of the multiverses were being destroyed. And he didn't know that they were then going to put him into a fight against the CGI spider just based on the unused script of the Superman film he was going to be in. But Cap, if I understand you correctly, what you're suggesting is when he filmed just the destruction of his world, and you think he's just going to be looking stoic, Superman authoritative. What you're saying is instead he did this and did some classic Nicolas Cage face.
Like,
I would have just
Knowing
loved that.
Nicolas Cage,
Imagine
that
Nicolas
was
Cage.
probably what he did.
Yeah. Well, okay. So imagine he just wants the paycheck, and it's like so great to finally have you playing Superman. So and he's on a green screen set, and he's like, you can see the destruction of his world, and he's just, and they're like, Nick, let's go for a second take here, and he's like, I would just love it, and they're like, we can't use any of this. Dev.
so you guys watched the CW Crisis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Apparently, Nicolas Cage's scene was that basically like that. He'd be watching his own Earth, like blip out of existence. That was a scene.
Well, no, they did have it that okay, let's bring it up. Let's bring up the Flash because we can, all of the cameos in it were just, and here's a cutaway gag like in Family Guy to another universe, and so they showed just like Batman, 1960s Batman in black and white, and it's like, why is it in black and white? That world's not in black and white. The old show wasn't in black and white, in fact. Or maybe it was the old Superman. Whatever they had, like
I like how the production got in trouble with CW as well because they used footage from the show without permission.
Cameo, right?
Ah.
Okay, so here it is. Let's bring it up. It's got adverts, of course it does.
I wonder how you go from Disney's multiverse to like other people in other studios saying, "Well, how can we do multiverse?" Like
the crazy thing is that Flash were kind of doing it first, and that's why Spider-Man No Way Home jumped the gun. They did it great, and so instead, I'm gonna skip this through if I can. So it's like there's all these bubbles, all these things that he's seeing around him. Each of these bubbles is a universe, and like here's a universe. It's like, oh, what's going to be in it?
That's David. That's 100% from the TMNT Turtles Forever movie.
Yeah, but it's like we're just going to show this, and it's like, oh, he looks around, his world's being destroyed, and then they skip, and it's like this. There's these other worlds, and here's Christopher Reeve looking, and
the Flash movie's still bad. We're not going to get copyrighted.
And then look, okay, so they just added this, and then this is all they had Nicolas Cage on set. Yeah, exactly. Right. I
don't know why it gives me like this guttural, this instinctual, just like, ugh, The
CW one was stupid about better for some reason.
It's because it looks so bad. Like the CGI was so bad, and it's also like, but Nicolas Cage could have done this, and then you find out he did do it, and they just didn't use it.
There's this thing I've been listening to about like when people make videos and stuff is just the reason you make a movie is because you're hiring humans to tell a human story.
Yeah.
And if there's more CGI involved in it, if it feels a lot less realistic, maybe on an instinctual level, visually, we're gonna know it's, not as real, and it's harder to suspend our disbelief to get involved and enjoy the story. Maybe that's
Yeah, I agree.
sort of the
David.
thing.
Uncanny Valley. Yeah.
David,
Um,
can you pull up the link that I sent you of the Turtles multiverse? This is where multiverse was
Where is it?
made,
God.
okay? This is where they copied from, and this is what they should have done perfectly.
No, they
okay?
didn't. Cap.
Put up the
The
shield. just in
multiverse
case.
concept in animation or TV was first done in the Spider-Man animated series in 1990.
I don't care, Dev. I live in the 2000s. The
Turtles-
Turtles were my
Turtles
life.
Forever was
Hang
2012.
on. I'm sure the Twilight Zone have done a multiverse.
No, like I mean, like
story.
multiverse,
Yeah.
like crossover yourself. The concept.
I guess
of,
mainstreaming it though, there had to be something.
No, I'm
Feels like
saying
Endgame was
no.
the
I'm
one.
saying the whole showing of all the different worlds in one place. Like this was the first time it was
Yes.
actually happening.
1997,
this was
Spider-Man.
my introduction. This was my
That's 2012.
introduction to the multiverse.
Turtles Forever.
Yes.
So what is
This
this?
was 2000.
Why are they in a big sphere the
skip
same
that.
as the Flash?
Okay, so
He's
Shredder
yeah.
has captured the Shredder has captured them, and they're using their total energy to triangulate all the different types of turtles throughout the universe.
Oh my god, they've got the movie ones there.
Yeah,
There's literally just
Yeah.
a photo
they've
of
got
the
all
movie
of them.
ones.
There's even a comic like this where
I can narrate this line word for word when Shredder says, "There's not just 8 of you, but scores of you. Behold, a fundamental of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." And they go, "Awesome!"
hey, look, the anime one's there.
That's a good version of it, you know, of just like throwing everything on the screen at the same time.
Yeah,
It's the creative mechanism for it, but it's like animated too. There's no humans, so
like
I feel differently about that. There's a
And
reason.
they did it in a good way because, like, so the Shredder's plan. So the Shredder's plan was to like to find the prime universe, which was the source of all these things getting branched out. And the source universe was basically the first comic. So Shredder basically goes to the first issue of the Turtle comic where he finds black and white turtles, which is like they put so much thought into this like TV movie, and I was like, why can't you do that, Marvel?
see, the funniest part about that is in the first issue of the Turtles comic, they kill Shredder.
Yeah.
Oh, spoilers.
They also do that in the 2003. They also do that in the 2012.
But
The
issue one,
Shredder is
they
not
get the
voiced
one.
by Uncle Phil. Sorry?
Yeah. But in the comics, it was issue one. Shredder was dead for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Changing gears slightly. I have seen a couple of films at the cinema this week. First time I've been able to go to the cinema in a couple of months. But I saw 28 years later, The Bone Temple. And now I don't know if you have seen this at all or if you've seen the previous films in the series. But this film was made back to back with the last one that only came out a few months ago, which was just called 28 Years Later. So the background of this is that in 2002, they did the film 28 Days Later. About 4 or 5 years later, they did a sequel called 28 Weeks Later. They never made one called 28 Months Later. But eventually, the original director, Danny Boyle, was like, okay, I'm going to come back. And we're doing a new trilogy. Now, they've only shot 2 of these films, and it was kind of dependent on these 2 doing well enough of whether or not they would make the third one in the trilogy. Here's the thing. This. If you guys don't mind spoilers, let me know. Otherwise, I'll avoid spoilers. Anyone care? Anyone care?
I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen it, right? So, what
Not
the
the
Bone
Bone
Temple?
Temple.
Oh, okay, right. Well, but here's the thing. The last film, after I saw it, I was just like, I really thought that was kind of weak. I wasn't that impressed by it. I came out of this film and I was like, that film was awesome. And what it's actually done is it's made me re-look at the last film, which I wasn't that impressed with. And I was like, well, I kind of needed to know all of that to appreciate how much I enjoyed this one. But it's sort of like it should have just been called Part 1, Part 2, or something like this if it was a new trilogy, which is an awkward thing as the Part 1 would have actually been the third film in the series anyway. But 28 years later, it had this ridiculous storyline where this guy goes with his kid onto the main island to teach him to be a man, to go and fight the zombies. and he's played by Lion Man. It's played by Kick-Ass, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and he plays a complete douchebag character who I was like, wow, he's the main star in this, and I can't stand him. But then the idea is that the boy's mother is terminally ill, and he sees that his dad's having an affair or something, but the boy is aware there's a doctor on the mainland. So he takes her, and she's sort of like delirious all the time, and he takes her to go see the doctor, which is Lord Voldemort, which is Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I thought, his performance was good even in that. But then what happened, what I really couldn't get on board with, he was like, I can't save you. I'm a doctor, but there's nothing. The world's ended. There's nothing. There's no tools to be able to save you. But he's built this memoriam to the dead out of skulls and bones and things. And so then she's just like, well, I can't be saved. And she willingly lets herself be killed. And then he takes her skull and gives it to the son to then place on top of this bone temple. And I'm just like, now, I know this won't be the same for every family and for everyone, but I was like, there's no way that mother would have been like, one day, you can't let my boy go, that he's 12, you can't let him go to the mainland, to now being like, I'm just, even if I'm dying and I'm a liability to some degree, I'm just going to let myself be killed. So then he has to fend for himself. That just didn't resonate with me at all. And then the other part of it was that the zombies, now after years of everyone saying they're not zombies in 28 days later, they're infected, they've got rage virus. In both the film that came out a few months ago and the film I saw this week, they actively call them zombies. And I'm a bit like, okay, so what's that whole they're not zombies thing? But they actively use the word zombie like 3 or 4 times. And they then say that there's a new type of zombie where people who are infected with rage virus, some people, it turns them into alphas. And so you've got this guy who's built like Jason Momoa running around just butt naked the entire movie. And I was a bit like, so he's chasing after them and it's a bit scary in that. But then it was like, oh, he's impregnated one of the other zombies. And I'm a bit like, oh, wow, this has really changed the rules on how the zombies work. And so in the last film, I was just like, this is too different. This, it was weird choices. It doesn't make sense for how this works. Hold that thought just 1 second, Dev. And then the nail in the coffin is in the last minute of the first of 28 years later. This boy is cornered, and suddenly someone's like, "We'll help you." And all these like ninjas jump out, dressed as the person Jimmy Savile, which you just look up that he was one of the most evil people in history, basically, like an abuser. In so many ways, terrible person.
British Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, exactly, British Harvey Weinstein. And I was like, and that's how they ended the film. Now, the one thing I'll say is that 28 days later happened in 2002, when this guy was still alive, and he was a TV and radio presenter who genuinely was more beloved than anything else because it wasn't truly known about what he did until after he died. But he had a TV show called Jim'll Fix It, where, it'd be like he genuinely was doing charity work. But now they say the reason he was doing charity work is because it would give him access to people that he could then abuse. We're getting into it's a topic I don't really want to get into, to be honest. But the idea of his show, Jim'll Fix It, I thought, oh, wow, is this clever that because this is an alternative history and no one knew that he was evil, that someone in this post-apocalyptic world might look, we need to be like Jimmy because we'll fix it. And then this film, the big thing I can say about it is that they didn't use that idea at all. I have no idea why they were all dressed as Jimmy Savile. However, a little bit like The Walking Dead, where you've just got a rogue group of survivors who are bad guys, that's what this gang of Jimmy Savile lookalikes were doing. And their storyline and how they then interacted with Ray Fiennes because they think he's the devil and stuff like this. It's like mostly not a zombie movie, but it was actually overall a pretty good movie. And it perhaps my expectations were so low that it just majorly exceeded them. But then, okay, so big spoiler if you do want to see it. At the end, you just suddenly see like a little girl and she's doing her homework, and then you hear a voice saying, oh no, this was after World War II. You've got to do this for the test tomorrow. and suddenly it's Cillian Murphy from the first movie. And suddenly they hear gunfire, and the characters you've been following throughout this whole film, they see out the window, and this girl, she's like, "Dad, what do we do? Do we help?" And he's like, "Of course we do." And he grabs a gun. And I'm just like, wait, that's the character from this film from 26 years ago or 24 years ago. And suddenly it was like, I really want it to continue. But I'm not sure they'll actually make this continuation, because I think this one is not performing that well at the box office so far. But anyway, go on, Dev.
So, first of all, when you said there's like a giant super-roided zombie running around,
Yeah.
me and Cap had the same idea, right? At the exact same moment, me and Cap did the same idea. That's ripping off Attack on Titan. That's ripping off an anime called Attack on Titan.
When did that come out?
When did Attack on Titan come out, Cap?
No. Right, okay, so if you've played Resident Evil Remake, that came out the same year as 28 Days Later. They introduced the idea of the Crimson Head zombies. So a zombie that you'd knock down, and unless you cut his head off, it would get back up stronger. And this guy is basically a Crimson Head. So, okay, but here's the thing. So major spoiler here. So Ray Fiennes shoots him in the previous film with a blow dart with morphine in, and the zombie's then subdued. In this one, he gets the idea that the zombie likes the alpha zombie likes to be shot with morphine because it kind of calms his mind from this rage. And then he's like, "I'm sorry, old boy." It's like, the size of you, the amount of morphine that is taking to subdue you. I think what you're searching for is peace. And he's about to euthanize him. And he's looking up at the sky, and suddenly the zombie speaks and says the word moon. And because of this, Ray Fiennes is doing his doctor stuff, and he thinks the rage virus has a physical component. It makes you spit blood and stuff like this. It makes you go crazy. But he also says he thinks there's an element of psychosis in it. So he loads him up with medicine, and then at the end, the zombie can just talk again. Everything about it, I was like, wow, that actually was a clever way to evolve this idea that's now decades old in pop culture. Because this is where they actually take back the idea that, well, he's not a zombie, because they can cure him, or they can heal him, they can rehabilitate him, and he's still got his mind somewhere underneath all of the virus. So there were lots of things about this
definition? Wait, what is the definition of zombies? It doesn't necessarily mean that you are dead, right? Zombies basically mean that you are zombified.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Tiny bit of history on it there is, when you watch the film like White Zombie, which is like Boris Karloff and stuff like this, zombie just, and this is like a 1930s, 40s film. It's just like, oh, we're all in a trance, and we're zombified. But then literally George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead changed the meaning somewhat to be that zombie was reanimated corpse. And so that's what caught the cultural imagination, and that's what everyone now thinks a zombie means.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like an evolved idea. It wasn't original, because you think something coming back from the dead, other than its physical form, it's a ghost, really, So that's what it was before that. But just something being zombified was just like being under a spell, like hypnosis. It would be more like voodoo stuff, and people like zombified. But it became reanimated corpse from Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, etc., etc. Dev.
I just realized what the ending of 28 Bone Temple reminds me of.
Go on.
Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Oh, I don't know it. Go on, tell me why.
At the very end, the main character from the third movie is getting told that one of the character's old friends wants to have a race, and the movie ends with a cameo from Vin Diesel.
Ah. Okay, Tim.
So I just saw Ultimate Extreme Battle Simulator 2, 1,000,000 Vin Diesels versus 1,000 Harry Potters. That was so much fun. That was the only movie that Vin Diesel...
Which version of Vin Diesel this is? Is this what specific version of Vin Diesel?
It's a melee, zombie, basically. And the Harry Potter shot fireballs and electricity, and there were 5,000 Vin Diesels left. But if you had thrown in 10 extra Harry Potters, I bet you they would have gotten cooked.
Tim, I've been watching a lot of those videos recently of whatever this simulator is, and it'll be like 10,000 Jurassic Park T-Rexes versus like 1 million. I'm trying to think like Jean-Claude Van Damme's and things like this. And I've seen one with Godzilla. Mm-hmm. And the one I didn't like the Godzilla one that I saw for the reason that they eventually 1 million things beat a Godzilla, and it was just like it didn't show the animation of Godzilla just trouncing on them. It made it a little bit like when they got close enough, supposedly they were doing the damage. I'm going to give you a thought I had when I saw this over the last couple of weeks. I'd be like, I wonder how easy it'd be to put us in this, to have us battle, like Geek Battle versus Death Eaters or stuff like this. Cyberman.
I haven't played the game, but
I'd
love to try.
We have?
Well, I don't. Well,
what
exactly.
sort of power?
This is where I stopped because I found where it was on Steam, and I was like, do I get this? But I was like, but how do I program us into it? And I was like, you probably need to, unless it's got like a creator wrestler, like in like WWE 2K, where you could make it look like us, which I don't think that's the idea. I think people modify to import models. But then I was like, but how do you give people their attributes? Because how it can't just be that, because if it's the base of it is everyone's either got guns or swords. It's like, well, how do they give the Harry Potter characters magic spells and these different attributes? And by the time I got the process, I was like, this is too much work, and I gave up on it.
They have mods that you can add stuff to it, but it would be some work, I think. And you can only do a ranged attack or a melee attack. Like individual units have just one single attack. There's no damage that occurs to your team though, which is interesting. There's no splash damage for.
I love the version where they do Space Marines versus Spartans. There's some of that as well. That's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. 1 million chicken versus 10,000 T-Rex. No pluralization too, which in English is kind of important, but who cares? Kind of. We can all know that 1 million chicken means there's a lot of chickens.
Yeah, absolutely. Dev.
I mean, I've got some free time, so I'm going to make 1 million caps versus Resident Evil Gaiden.
Yeah, do it.
Who am I fighting?
1 million Resident Evil Gaiden. The game that you hate.
Who?
Gaiden, the one where Leon gets infected.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so Resident Evil Gaiden's the game where that's got bad graphics and Cap won't remember it. But no, okay, so you can have 1 million Leon S. Kennedy. No, 1 million Capel Faves versus one regular Leon S. Kennedy. And Cap would just be like, kill me, Leon. Don't
1 million caps.
We surrender. We surrender at our Lord and Master.
Yeah.
Or we'll all be just like, how do you do that with your hair? Can we get our secret?
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you a question. So this is slightly relating to that, but slightly different. And we've kind of done this before. If you had to have like a battle team, and say you could choose 5, it will include yourself. So you were in this fight, or it could be similar to those things where it'd be like, these 3 will defend you, the rest will try to kill you.
Yeah.
If you could choose who is your team going to be, and this doesn't just, you could just go purely, well, this one's the most powerful and this one's the next most powerful. But if you were assembling who you would want your team to be, so obviously Cap, you wouldn't have a logical reason to choose Leon S. Kennedy if you're already choosing Superman and Wanda and stuff like this. But you might think, I want Leon to be part of my team. So who would your ideal 5-man, 5-woman, whatever 5-person team be if you had to assemble your personal Avengers, Justice League, superhero or just sci-fi or whatever character team? Dev, do you have an answer for this?
Yes. Franklin Richards, Mr. Nicholas Pitlick, Goku, and Spike from Buffy, and a Labubu.
And what was the last one?
And
A Labubu.
Although,
Oh,
Dev,
no.
I question Mr. Pitalik, because like, what if he turns on you? He doesn't care. He's a chaos infringing imp.
No, I tell him that this is the most chaos he can inflict ever. I tell him that, and he'll believe me.
I mean, that sort of thing with this, like, assemble your own team, mainly because if we are given free range from everywhere, obviously everyone's going to go for the most powerful person they can think of.
No,
And
that's
like,
what I
yeah,
mean.
I
It
want
doesn't
that
just
guy
have
to
to be
be.
the most powerful.
Yeah. I mean, if I think you can ask, like, what sort of 5 dream team that you like to hang out with? That's actually a better question that will get us an honest answer than like, who do you want as your most people to fight or something like that.
Let me put it to you
Because
like this.
what fictional character is your 5 favorite that you like to hang out with?
So, the world as it currently is, there's no supervillains that we know of. There's no impending Thanos level threat that you need to deal with. You are just establishing, just like in Superman the movie, that there is no supervillains, there are no superheroes. And is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's Superman. This is the first time anyone's actually seen something like this. But you all emerge together, and you're the leader. You all emerge together, and there may never be a
What powers do I have?
You have
What
nothing.
powers
You're just
do
the
I
team
have?
leader. You're the team leader, Cap. Right. Okay. But
Okay,
so
then
look,
okay.
yeah, go on.
Okay, then David, I want the genie from Aladdin, because I could have 3 wishes and then wish myself fucking superpowers. And I would have Elsa for personal reasons.
What?
Jesus.
Not that kind of stream, Cap.
It's not that kind of stream. It's not that kind of team. Look at this. Like, Cap has been given full power.
I am for female
20
representation,
seconds.
okay?
Look,
And he's
so
Where?
I just picked everyone up. Altered reality. I've been picking a harem.
horror.
Pass of Halo.
Okay, well, Tim,
Okay,
who
so
would
then,
you choose?
That's tough because, like, I don't think I'd want all powerful everyone. I think I'd want
Exactly.
like one all powerful teammate. So I think I'd choose a Superman definitely because he could work in a team and he'd probably be the most powerful. You need someone who can like work within a team and also everyone else can work on the team. How many other choices do I have?
So you have 5 overall.
All right. I do the Scarlet Witch. It's easy to alter reality, and you need someone to kind of counter. So I need another all-powerful. Captain America, just because I like him, and
For personal reasons, of course.
sure, I could have a beer with him. He'd be pretty fucking cool to hang out with, I think.
Exactly.
But so it's Superman,
Guys, look.
And,
Yeah, go on.
all right. Sorry, back at it.
Master Chief.
I need a tactician. Yeah, Master Chief.
Right. So I don't know exactly who I'd go
For
for. But
personal reasons.
I'd definitely have the Doctor. Right.
Which one?
I'd definitely have Doc Brown. Jeez, the answers are right here. I'd have Gandalf. That's 3 done. Let's think who else. I'd probably go for Scarlet Witch as well. Just have something, ultra powerful if I need to bend reality.
For personal reasons, of course.
Hey, you can say that,
I'm the
but
one
I
that like
didn't.
redheads, not you.
Cap,
Right.
get your hand out of your pants. Chill. This is about fighting world threats, not the. I'll show you a world threat.
Yeah,
Not
I've got.
repopulating the earth.
Hey, Elsa is a pretty fucking powerful person, okay?
Pretty
Right,
powerful
okay.
person.
Cap's just
Like all
like,
the
I'll
other
have
parts.
Jessica Rabbit. I'll have the Little Mermaid. Right. Okay, and the last one. Who would I choose as the last one?
Henry Cavill.
Nah. I might have just like Crichton from Red Dwarf. Just have like a service robot.
Hmm.
Oh, I thought
Oh,
you
yeah.
meant Crichton from.
I mean, the better question to ask is that, let's just say with like one character, who would you like to explore a different planet with? What character would you choose to explore a different planet with if you found yourself into one?
Amy Pond from
Who
Doctor
would
Who.
you have? Yeah, okay. Who would you have as a friend or companion in a fantasy world? And then who would you have in if you found yourself in a detective situation? Like I think
Jack
specific scenarios would be best. Yeah, but my idea is this: like you need specific scenarios because otherwise everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I need the most powerful person and one for personal reasons." So
Okay,
Can't
Deb.
let
right.
it go.
And by that he means let go of it. Right,
Yeah.
Deb.
So I just had an amazing idea based on the game I played. If I was in the medieval times in a fantasy reality, I would literally want the T-1000. Because what the fuck are they going to
it
do
would
against the gun?
probably. Yeah, but you would probably it will run. What if it runs out of batteries, and what if it finds itself in a muck?
Yeah,
Well,
because
okay,
T1
so could look, it can be melted, right? So could it say the Fellowship of the Ring or like the Hobbits, right? They'd go, the T-1000 going up against Smaug. Smaug would just melt him.
Yeah.
Heat and cold disable or damage the T-1000. So when it's
Exactly.
frozen, as it tries to put itself together, you actually see it sort of it struggles to operate as easily because the freezing cold also damaged it.
Exactly. So think of this from Cap's perspective, right? He'd be like, "I've got the T-1000 here," and then he'd ask it to look like Elsa, and then it would accidentally freeze itself. And it's just like, oh shit. Right, Dev.
David
I
will be
just had this
changing
amazing
the
image
theme
in my
song to
head.
Henry Cavill to Elsa.
I had this amazing image in my head of somehow the Fellowship has beaten up the T-1000 and they're like carrying him like on their shoulders towards Mordor to go melt him.
Yeah.
But you know, okay, so if the T-1000 got the One Ring, like, could it be corrupted? It couldn't be corrupted, surely.
Well,
But
It could be
T-1000 is
corrupted
I'd
just
argue that.
Is T-1000
Well, you're saying the
a
One
different
Ring would
entity,
install
or is there
malware
Skynet?
on the T-1000?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
just like the Flood have a logic virus or a logic plague. It just argues with its programming until it finds a way around like an AI's purpose and turns it over to its but I think like when we talk about what we, if you could have one person in your team, it's like you got to also deal with them. They're like human beings and stuff. And I think that's how I look at it too, is like I got to deal with these, no offense, I got to deal with these assholes all day with this world ending threat or in fantasy. It's like I gotta be careful when I'm choosing that. I guess that's how I see it in a way.
Yeah.
Also, they freeze your nuts off. She don't like you. She, because if you're not treating her right, she's like, you know what? I'm gonna let you let it go.
She's a nice person, and I'm a nice person. We could get along.
Yeah. We all love a nice guy.
Do you want to get some snowballs?
Yeah, definitely.
The worst that could happen is that I end up as an icicle, which is fine.
Okay, now, guys, there's a couple other things I've got to mention. The other film I saw this week was called The Housemaid, which is a Sydney Sweeney movie, Cap, who I believe was the fifth.
Oh, right. That's why it's so popular.
Right.
I was like,
right.
I was going to ask why everybody because it's really popular, but I don't know anything about it. I was like, why is everyone watching it? I was like,
I knew nothing about this movie other than it was Sydney Sweeney in a thriller, right? And I was like, I like not knowing about thrillers in particular, sci-fi, horror, stuff like this. It's like, just surprise me with what you got. I won't give you too many spoilers. It doesn't 100% hold up this film because pretty quickly I'm just like, I don't think characters would behave like this. But overall, it was a pretty good film, and I can say I'd somewhat recommend it. It's not something, if you can go see it on like one of these unlimited cinema tickets, then it's 100% worth seeing. If you had to pay for it, I'd say, well, You know, if there's nothing else you want to see, it might be worth a go. It's not that great, but it was pretty good. Tim,
Were there
It's
butt
like,
shots?
I'd rather see a half-naked
Yeah.
Ray Fiennes than Sydney Sweeney. You know, it's like okay, all right, I get it. Like, to be fair, movie quality is a big thing, and star power is different nowadays. I don't think I've seen a movie with Sydney Sweeney in it where I'm like blown away by it. But I know she's trying to
Man Web was good.
get out there as an actress.
What was good, Dev?
Apparently, Man Web was good.
The only other time I've seen her in anything was when she was Spider Girl in that flash forward in Madam Web. That's literally the only other thing I'd seen her in. But I did check the review and I was like, is this a thriller? And it's like, oh, it's got 7s or 8s out of 10. I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And there's lots of times where I had theories about what was going on, and it didn't 100% manage to take me completely by surprise, but it took me by surprise a few times. It has a nice few twists and things that you don't expect along the way. So it's not just terrible. But the biggest criticism I'll give for it, because I won't give spoilers for it, is that pretty early on, I'm just like, this character seems a bit crazy. There's no way this person would be able to behave like this in real life and get away with certain things, you know. But anyway, the other thing I saw, which I just saw, is a teaser trailer for the Masters of the Universe movie. So let's bring this up quickly here.
I've been watching the behind the scenes stuff for years.
So, like, you just see a very little. So there's He-Man, who doesn't at all look like He-Man. The sword looks good. But then, wait for it. There we see. I don't know if I can make it bigger without it dominating everything. So I don't even know if you can see that at all, to be honest. You can't, can you? Right. I can't make it full screen. It's really annoying that. But you can see that Battle Cat's there, Man of Arms there, Teela's there, and whatever this is.
Teela is not how she's supposed to be.
She looks better than the Teela in the Netflix animated show.
Yeah.
And Man of Arms looks like he's got the right costume at least. And Cringer there looks correct. But let's keep going for a second. And so I think there's going to be a proper trailer tomorrow. But I think once again, this is another He-Man has somehow made it to human Earth, isn't it?
So basically, I know, to give you a gist of it, you know what it is?
Thor.
It's Thor, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Thor, but with He-Man.
Yeah. And Sonic the Hedgehog. They look where these things, they're like, oh, this takes place on an alien planet. Everything's going to have to be special effects and CGI. They're just like, what if there's a portal that sucks them through to the human world? And the Dolph Lundgren He-Man film already did this. So they are literally remaking.
I love that Hollywood's answer to isekai is to reverse the isekai. So basically, if you look at like Japanese cartoons, mostly they're like, what if you go to a different fantasy world? The regular guy goes transported to a different fantasy world. They're like, what if we bring the fantasy world characters to our world? You think of that?
Yeah.
That's what Hollywood's been doing.
And that's 100% what they do.
To quickly explain the isekai concept to everyone here, it's kind of hilarious at the point. The main character gets hit by a bus or a truck and ends up in another universe. That's how 9% of them.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize this. Hang on 1 second. So, first of all, is this a bigger picture? Can I click on this? But yeah, okay. So, Man of Arms is played by Idris Elba.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So, that's cool.
That is cool. Is it Austin Butler?
Prince Adam looks fine.
I'll be honest. If that's meant to be Prince Adam, he doesn't look hench enough to be He-Man.
Well,
I
from what
think
I've
it's the
seen,
shirt.
he is.
I think it's just the loosely shirt. If he just goes bodybuilder,
I never liked that they changed things. So Prince Adam is scrawny. Because Prince Adam, when I was growing up, looks exactly the same as He-Man. He just didn't have the He-Man costume on.
Jared Leto is Skeletor.
Do you know why that is? Do you know why that is?
Jared Leto is Skeletor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they keep
I broke
good character
I
for
broke
him.
this news a year ago, on Geek Battle, and nobody believed me.
Okay, hang on. Look,
What a,
that is what Prince Adam is supposed to look like.
Okay, so I can explain this because I spoke to one of the writers of 2003, right?
Yeah, go on.
They said kids back then would have been okay with the whole Clark Kent, they're different people thing. Adam isn't He-Man, like they're separate people thing. But nowadays, people are like, oh, how are they so stupid? How did they not realize the guy who looks like a carbon copy of He-Man is He-Man?
Yeah, but look
So
what they did to him.
Adam look like, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that's the He-Man I grew up with.
No,
Basically-
that is Prince Adam.
They put him into a focus group,
Not
and
that.
apparently the focus group made fun of him, saying, "You can't like, you can tell that's He-Man. It needs to be an actual disguise. It needs to be like Shazam.
And also,
where it's a smaller guy.
and
but
also
big.
and it's also the product of the time. In the 80s, they were like, okay, we need to draw a different model for He-Man and then a different model for, you know what, just draw different clothes on him. That's pretty much all we
Yeah.
need, because it, again, hand-drawn animation.
And to be fair, teenagers in the 80s looked like they were 40.
Teenagers in the 80s looked like they were 40.
Yes.
Teenagers?
Yeah. Look up Hulk Hogan when he was younger.
Okay, Hulk Hogan,
that's the alcohol and steroids.
teenager.
That's probably not every teenager. I'm pretty
look.
sure that's the alcohol and steroids.
Yeah, look, this is Hulk Hogan, age 12. No, I'm joking. I don't know how old he is there, but I take the point. I take the point. Right.
I mean, he
Hang on,
does.
Wait, how old is this guy? Like, okay, so that says, I think that says 1960. That's age 18.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, to be fair, alcohol usage has decreased as time's gone along. So,
Wow.
like, I imagine there could be a lot more cigarette use and beer drinkage, and also lead in the air and water back in the earlier times.
And also
It
culturally,
probably aged differently.
and also culturally, maturity is probably a lot younger for them than to us
Yeah.
as the time.
Like
Very
Ron
true.
Anderson had looked the same age for like 50 years.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, we got a few minutes left. Is there anything you guys have particularly seen or whatever that we've not touched upon? Any movies, shows?
I
games,
have been
Go on, guys.
whoever.
I have been
Go ahead.
watching the series Grimm, which has been pretty good. Just finished season 1. So far so good. It's a lot better than what I was watching Teen Wolf, which had so much potential, but solely ruined the whole
Watch the
story by
original.
making the
Watch the original.
not the original Dev, the
No, go watch the
2015
original.
one.
Go watch the original.
Nah, I can't go watch the original. Okay,
much better. Go
I
watch
watched
the
the 2015 one. The main character looked like me, but there has to be a video essay written about him, about how to write the most pathetic protagonist, because he doesn't win a single fight in the whole series. It's just, it had so much potential. But Grimm, on the other hand, which is much nicer, again, it's weirdly, it has a better budget than Supernatural, which was weird because this is around the same time. And they're both kind of the similar shows. The urban fantasy, there's like supernatural things that exist within this world, and these guys have like hunters. Yeah.
So I know
Go down.
I know the producer of Grimm, and I know why they got a bigger budget. It was because
why?
Supernatural is an original story, while Grimm was an adaptation of an existing license.
Well,
Okay.
you mean
Grimm
the
got the
original Grimm
bigger
Tales, or
budget?
Like the Grimm series got funding from the Grimm Tales, or like the Aesop's or whatever, the book series, to adapt into a TV show. Well, Supernatural was original content.
But I think because of that, the better budget of that, the creatures looks way better than they do in the Supernatural. And also, again, pretty likable protagonist. He's the smaller package version of Brendan Routh. Exactly, like if you look at Brendan Routh, the next picture of him, it's basically just a smaller version of Brendan Routh. It's so scary in that regard.
And if you want a continuation of that sort of, if you want a continuation of that sort of show, look up Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, I tried Once Upon a Time. It didn't get me engaged that much, mainly because, again, there was not many as fight scenes as would in Grimm and Supernatural. So I was
quite
kind of
like
pretty bored
Once
after like.
Upon a Time.
Hmm.
It tailed off.
Sorry,
It
David?
trailed off after a while.
I
Like-
saw 3 episodes of Once Upon a Time, but it didn't fully get me into it because there was zero action in it. So I was like,
There wasn't enough butt shots. What, Cap? Jeez.
Yes,
Butt shots.
yes, there wasn't
Butt
enough
shots.
butt shots.
Wait till Hook shows up. Wait till Hook shows up.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else, guys? 5 minutes.
I'm waiting for the Super Bowl because we're getting a lot of things at the Super Bowl, including
When is the Super Bowl?
the first week of February.
Okay.
We're gonna get a lot of trailers, including a full one for Doomsday and a full one for Spider-Man.
Ooh, exciting.
Ooh.
Mario will be appearing on Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, Mario will return in Doomsday.
Okay.
I saw episode 2 of The Pit. That was good.
Pit's great.
Otherwise, yeah.
What
Yeah.
is the
Noah
pit?
Wiley's really
I
good.
don't know anything of this. I don't think I've ever heard of.
It's a 15 or 16-hour shift in the emergency room and hospital in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Imagine if ER, but more
So-
realistic.
Yeah,
Is it-
actually,
is it-
a lot of ER workers
It's not
I know
documentary,
say
right?
it's
No,
No,
it's like it's fictional.
dramatized.
But it's
thriller,
like-
yeah.
Yeah, it's like more emotionally driven version of ER. Instead of procedural,
Yeah.
it's more like you get to make emotional and stuff.
What channel
see.
or platform is that on?
HBO. One episode is an hour long in a shift at the hospital. So the first
Yeah.
one
Ooh,
takes
like
place in
24.
like September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it better than
exactly.
Doctor House?
In some
there's-
ways,
Yeah, there's definitely there are characters like Dr. House in there.
yeah,
but,
you care more about the characters,
Ah.
and it's a lot less like sarcastic, but
Yeah.
it's more gritty.
Dude,
Mm.
Dev, I wanted to know more about Myrna's background. Like
Yeah,
she's there should be like 60 volumes of fan fiction based on how she got to the ER. But anyways, it's a good show. A lot
Yeah.
of ER workers that I know say that it's the most accurate representation of
yeah, definitely. Even here, even in the UK, they say that as well.
Oh wow! I'll have to look out for this. This one's completely flown under my radar. But
And Noah
mentioning
Wiley's-
Dr. Hell. No, go ahead, Tim.
Noah Wiley is a serious advocate for like first responders and stuff, and does a lot of work
Yeah.
in like hospital health and safety in some form. My wife knows more about that, but I love how he presents the issues of the ER in the show.
Yeah.
Sure.
What other show was Noah Weil a doctor in? I remember seeing
The
him as a
Librarian?
doctor.
Oh, ER.
Oh, ER. Yeah.
Yeah, Dr.
Okay.
Stephen Carter, I think.
Also Friends.
Anyways.
He was also in Friends.
As Draco, Joey's co-worker in a movie set where they were both doctors.
Okay, well, typecast then.
Oh, but
Oh.
yeah, go
We
on.
lost Tim.
Tim
I
died.
was just going to say, coming back to Dr. House, there's a new series been on called The Night Manager, which stars Tom Hiddleston, Loki.
Mhm.
And when it's 10 years since there was the first season of The Night Manager. It's a British-made show. And when people saw this, they said Tom Hiddleston should be the next James Bond, which doesn't look like that's still in the contention.
No.
But they have done but like Dr. House played. Oh, amazing! Did you see season 1 or are you watching season 2, Tim?
Just finished season 1.
I saw it 10 years ago, but because there is season 2, I've just finished watching season 1 again. It's really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to watch
Great.
it.
I won't give any
What
real
is it about?
spoilers, but so
What is it about?
Tom Hiddleston plays a night manager in a hotel who becomes aware of some sort of criminal activity that would relate to a wealthy businessman played by Hugh Laurie, and he ends up getting recruited by is it Jenna Coleman? What's her name? Is it Jenna Coleman? Is that the right name?
I don't know.
Something
I don't know that.
Olivia Coleman. Olivia Coleman. Is it Olivia Coleman? I forget her name.
Is it
right.
the Doctor Who one or the other one?
No. It's not. What the hell
Yes,
is her
yes,
name?
it is. It's Olivia Coleman.
Yeah, Olivia Coleman, right? Who, yeah, she was in Broadchurch. She's done like loads of like stuff where she might have been in The Crown. She's won Oscars and all stuff since then. And she's sort of like the intelligence agent who sort of recruits Loki to be to go undercover sort of thing like this. And it's genuinely just a really cool kind of spy kind of thriller kind of thing. And after 10 years they've made a sequel to it, of which I won't give any details or whatever, but so far it's really good, and hopefully they'll continue to make this show. The second season I think is still being eked out week by week, but yeah, that's a cool show to check out as well. Guys, let's begin to wrap things here. So if anyone's got any geeky recommendations and wants to let people know where to find them, Cap.
You can find me on SWAT Deeds, where I sing, I dance, I throw myself in a bucket, and I work with puppets. And the next episode on SWAT Deeds will be Rapunzel has big news for Mufasa, because I need to shoehorn in the lions in whatever stuff I do, otherwise people won't watch. My recommendation is the series Grimm, and the song The Story of Us, which is the theme song of Frieren Season 2, which is quite nice. I was waiting for that for a while, and it dropped, and the song is really nice.
Okay. Dev.
You can find me on TikTok and Twitch on the name FWDAT. And my geek recommendation is The Last Witch Hunter, where Vin Diesel plays a immortal witch hunter, and he has to hunt down witches in modern day, like New York and stuff.
Okay, cool. Tim.
I would definitely. You can check me out on the Instagram right here, and also at an improvised science lab show in Wakefield, Rhode Island on March 20th. I recommend the 3 Body Problem books right now. I'm finishing them up. They're really good. I'm hopeful for the last 200 pages.
Okay, cool. My name's Dave Sansky. Find me on Dave Sansky on all platforms. Find everything Geek Battle Gaming on all platforms as well. In about half an hour, check out the Extreme Improv show, Extreme Improv Extremed on the Extreme Improv channels. And very soon, I'm so pleased, I've spent absolutely months and months and months editing videos, which I have literally finished editing yesterday, for Extreme Improv stuff and also Geek Battle stuff. So within the next week, it will become the great period of sharing and scheduling videos. So I'm very excited for that to start happening. But just follow the Extreme Improv and Geek Battle channels. And the big thing it means for me is because it's literally taken all of my free time editing videos for months on end without being able to share any of them for reasons. Now I will finally be free to work on some other things, which I'm so excited about. I can't even begin to explain. But with that, until next time, stay safe, always stay extreme, live long and prosper. May the force be with you. Nanu, and boom, we're off the air.
Personal reasons.